Please subscribe as it motivates us to work hard. Giselle, previously underestimated, reveals his true strength as he faces off against Frank. After swiftly defeating two knights, he surprises everyone, including Frank, with her impressive use of mana and deadly swordsmanship. Frank, initially confident in his abilities, struggles to keep up as Giselle's attacks grow stronger. He realizes that his swordsmanship is far superior, and his mysterious power surpasses anything he anticipated. The battle intensifies as Giselle's hidden abilities emerge, overwhelming Frank with his brutal speed and precision. He pushes his mana to the limit, revealing a second and then a third core of power, which shocks Frank and turns the tide of the fight. Despite Frank's efforts, Giselle's relentless attacks and increasing strength eventually shatter his sword, leaving him at his mercy. The episode highlights Giselle's transformation from a perceived weakling to a formidable force, driven by a thirst for revenge and justice. In this intense scene, Giselle faces off against Frank, an experienced fighter. Using his skill and delicate control over mana, he pierces Frank's core and dismantles his power, leaving him helpless. Despite the danger, Giselle proceeds to destroy Frank's mana core, an act that could potentially cause a deadly explosion. However, he carries out the procedure with precision, rendering Frank powerless and torturing him as revenge for the people he's killed. Afterward, Giselle uncovers the bodies of several men, including Prince Daigold, whose death had sparked territorial conflict. Giselle carefully burns the bodies to prevent the escalation of war between territories. He is determined to stop his enemies from manipulating events, ensuring the truth remains hidden. Despite the victory, Giselle is injured from the physical strain of using such overwhelming mana. As he reflects on his plans, he realizes that his next goal is to raise money in order to prepare for the battles ahead. Meanwhile, in Ferdium Castle, rumors swirl about the events surrounding Giselle, and Elena faces the fallout of being branded a liar. In this chapter, story revolves around Giselle, a young noblewoman who is constantly bullied by his cousin Cain Loges, an arrogant and violent heir to the county of Loges. Despite being his only friend, Cain often belittles and mistreats him, using him as a subordinate and taking advantage of his kindness. One day, while Cain visits his territory, he continues his bullying, demanding alcohol and women for a party. However, Giselle, who has endured enough of his behavior, begins to stand up for himself. He uses a flower petal fortune-telling method to mock Cain, leading to a confrontation. When Cain challenges him to a duel, Giselle, previously a mercenary king in a past life, decides to accept the challenge, but with a twist. He demands repayment of a large sum of money that Cain owes her, turning the tables on him. Giselle's growth from a submissive figure to someone who, despite his past, finds his confidence and begins to assert himself. He uses wit and strategy to reclaim control, all while navigating the absurdity of Cain's behavior. The chapter ends with Giselle contemplating how to build his power and confront future challenges, pondering whether to resort to mercenary work or more drastic measures to gather the resources he needs.